watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 18th of June. After G7 bonhomie, PM Modi meets global CEOs in Paris. Pakistan faces embarrassment as Iran denies peace deal signing ceremony. And Sri Lanka ex-president's son arrested in corruption probe, court grants bail. After a power-packed G7 summit in France this week, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday met global CEOs in Paris as part of his bilateral engagements. He later attended the Viva Tech Summit, Europe's largest technology and startup event, before wrapping up his three-nation tour. Their report.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who arrived in Paris on Wednesday for the final leg of his multi-nation tour, received a grand welcome from the Indian diaspora as he reached the hotel. On Thursday, the Prime Minister held wide-ranging talks with global CEOs to woo investment in his country. The list of CEOs whom he met included Martin Shaun, CEO of Alstom, Arthur Mensch, the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Mistral AI, and Benoit Bazin, the Chairman and CEO of Saint-Gobain. He was later in the day scheduled to take part in the Viva Tech Summit, Europe's largest technology and startup event, alongside French President Emmanuel Macron. India this year has the largest national pavilion at the Viva Tech Summit, underscoring its growing role as a global innovation and startup hub.
And the discussion revolved around how to build a full-stack solution that is resilient and that is escaping foreign control, which is something that we can help with. It also revolved a lot on how to make AI available to everyone, both to the citizens, to the civil servants, and how to make sure that the people of India actually train on that technology, become better at building it through startups, for instance, that we'd love to be partnering with.
PM Modi's visit came as India and France observed the India-France Year of Innovation, a program aimed at deepening cooperation in emerging technologies, entrepreneurship and research. Before heading to G7 summit on Monday, Modi and Macron had jointly inaugurated the Bharat Innovates event on Sunday, which brought together leading startups, entrepreneurs and venture capital firms from India, France and several other countries.
Family members of deceased Indian seafarer Shivanand Chaurasia performed his last rites in Deoria district of India's Uttar Pradesh on Thursday. The vessel MT Settebello came under attack last week after U.S. forces accused it of violating the ongoing naval blockade on Iranian ports. Of the 24 Indian crew members on board, 21 were rescued, while 3 others were later confirmed dead. Earlier, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had announced he conveyed India's strong protest to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio over the attack. Meanwhile, at the G7 summit in France this week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed concern over the impact of disruptions in maritime trade through the Strait of Hormuz on the global economy and noted how Indian civilians lost their lives. During his meeting with President Trump as well, PM Modi advocated for the protection of commercial crew members operating in volatile maritime zones, raising concerns about the safety of Indian seafarers amid tensions in the Gulf region. He asserted, "I believe the safety of Indian seafarers is critical." Pakistan has suffered a diplomatic setback after Iran publicly contradicted Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's claim that Islamabad would host an official ceremony in Switzerland for the signing of a US-Iran memorandum of understanding. The controversy began when Sharif announced on social media that Pakistan, with support from Qatar, would host a ceremony in Switzerland on June 19th to mark the agreement and begin technical-level talks. However, he later deleted the post and reposted it without the reference to Pakistan's hosting role. Iran's foreign ministry clarified that memorandum had already been signed electronically by the presidents of the United States and Iran, and that no formal signing ceremony would take place in Switzerland. A spokesperson said negotiating teams would still meet in Geneva, but the agreement itself would be signed digitally. Following Tehran's clarification, Sharif quietly removed the paragraph mentioning Pakistan's involvement in the event. Meanwhile, Iran's parliament speaker and chief negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said Iran intends to retain control over the Strait of Hormuz and could eventually impose charges for the transit-related services. His remarks came as US President Donald Trump stated that a memorandum between Washington and Tehran was nearing completion and could be formally finalized within days. And as Pakistan grapples with high inflation, rising debt and economic pressures, its latest federal budget has drawn criticism from citizens who say it offers little relief. We have a report.
Amid persistent inflation, rising utility costs and shrinking incomes, many Pakistanis say economic hardship remains their biggest concern. Last week, the government unveiled a $67.5 billion budget for 2026 to 27 with higher defense spending and lower development allocations. While Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb hailed economic progress, many residents in Karachi questioned the government's claim that the budget is people-friendly.
देखिए जी हुकूमत तो कहती है कि अवाम दोस्त और बेहतरीन बजट है, लेकिन बजट के अंदर जो है सैलरीज पे ऊपर जो है टैक्स को कम किया गया, लेकिन बकाया जो खास तौर पे रोजमर्रा की अशिया है, शैम्पू है, दूध है, दीगर चीजों के ऊपर जो है वो टैक्स ज्यादा लगा दिए गए। एक तरफ अवाम को वजीर आजम खुद तकरीर में उन्होंने उनका अवाम का शुक्रिया अदा किया कि उन्होंने जो है वो सख्त जो इकदाम किए थे उसके ऊपर जो आवाम ने उनका साथ दिया, लेकिन उसके साथ आवाम को रिलीफ नहीं दिया गया। आवाम की आम उनको चीजें सस्ती चाहिए, आटा, दालें और इसके साथ गोश्त और जो डेयरी है, फिर दीगर मसनूआत है, दूध है जैसे बच्चों के जो पीने का दूध है, फिर उसके बाद जो है शैम्पू है, ऑयल है और ये खाने पीने का जो ऑयल है खाने का, उसके ऊपर भी टैक्सेस का इजाफा कर दिया, जिसकी वजह से महंगाई का एक जो तूफान रुका हुआ था और ज्यादा उसके अंदर जो है वो बढ़ गया। बजट के अंदर हालांकि रिलीफ देना चाहिए था, लेकिन रिलीफ नहीं दिया गया, ऐसी अद्वियात कीमतों में भी इजाफा हो गया।
Residents say that despite some tax relief, higher taxes on everyday goods could further raise living costs. Many argue that food, dairy products, and household essentials remain unaffordable amid inflation, while low-income families continue to struggle with rising food and healthcare expenses.
बजट क्या, बस आवाम का खून निचोड़ने का बजट है। जिन हुक्मरानों को जो सीटें गवर्नमेंट सर्विस और मुराद मिली हुई है, उनके लिए तो कुछ भी नहीं है, वो इसलिए कि वो आवाम की टैक्सों से ही वो चल रहे हैं। बाकी रहा गरीब का, गरीब तो इस वक्त इस कदर मर गया कि मैं खुद हार्ट पेशेंट हूँ, शुगर का मरीज हूँ। जो दवा मुझे 160 रुपए में मिलती थी, आज वो 500 रुपए की हो गई है, तो आप अंदाजा लगा ले मैं दवा से भी दूर हो गया।
While Islamabad speaks of economic recovery, many citizens say real relief means affordable food, medicine, and basic necessities. Critics argue that increased defense spending and reduced development allocations reflect misplaced priorities amid persistent inflation and unemployment.
Moving on. Sri Lanka's commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption arrested Yoshitha Rajapaksa, the son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, on Wednesday. Yoshitha was taken into custody after appearing before the commission to record a statement. Officials said he is being investigated over allegations that his admission to the Sri Lanka Navy and subsequent training at the Royal Navy Academy in the United Kingdom were facilitated outside established procedures as part of the 2006 recruitment of the cadet officers to the Navy's executive branch. Authorities further claim that some recruits did not meet the required qualifications and that the state funds were improperly used to support overseas training. Following his arrest, Rajapaksa was produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court, which granted him bail on 3 personal sureties of 5 million Sri Lankan rupees each and imposed a foreign travel ban. The high-profile case marks the latest corruption-related investigations involving the politically influential Rajapaksa family, which dominated Sri Lankan politics for more than a decade. The Bribery Commission said investigations into the alleged irregularities remain ongoing. And a remarkable fossil discovery in Mayurbhanj district of India's eastern state of Odisha is offering new insights into the region's prehistoric past. According to the researchers, the fossils unearthed from the Baripara fossil bed date back to the Miocene epoch, a period known for major climate shifts and rich biodiversity. These studies suggest that present-day Baripada and nearby areas were once covered by a shallow sea nearly 15 million years ago. Professor and researcher Dr. Debabrata Nandi said he first noticed the unusual fossil-like remains while accompanying students on a tour. According to Nandi, local villagers refer to these remains as Asura Hadda or demon spots. Further investigation led researchers to identify several marine fossils, including shark teeth, shark vertebrae, fish bones, and microscopic marine organisms. Nandi also said that the fossils indicate the region was once part of a marine belt, adding that the presence of shark fossils strongly suggests that the area was submerged under seawater during the Miocene period. Experts believe the Baripada fossil bed could emerge as an important geological heritage destination, helping scientists decode Odisha's ancient marine history while promoting education, research and geotourism.
ये मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आपका 15 मिलियन ईयर को, जो कि आपका मेयोसिन पीरियड बोलते हैं, उसी टाइम का ये आपका फॉसिल है. हाँ, अगर समुद्री बेल्ट नहीं होगा तो फिर शार्क का टीथ या दूसरा बहुत सारा जो सी एनिमल जो है उसका फॉसिल नहीं मिलता. फॉसिल है मतलब वहाँ पे सी था.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow.